Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome aboard the IS-3, the Russian bias tank itself. Or is it? Well, let me tell you a little bit of a story. I'm playing here the tank on Abandoned Factory, and again, it's one of the best games that I had in the sortie that I played, or the games that I played. And it's not a very impressive game. It's rather boring, to be honest. And that is kind of where you make the best results with the IS-3. So let me talk you through a little bit and the kind of power creep together with nerf. And both affected the IS-3 a lot. In the beginning of War Thunder, again when it was just the Russians versus the Germans, the IS-3 was the bane of King Tigers. King Tigers couldn't do anything against this tank. And people complained. But things changed. New nations were added with new tanks amongst all nations, new game mechanics, new ammunition types, and then together with that, the IS-3 was reworked twice. What does that mean? Well, first of all, the initial IS-3 that we had in the game was the, according to certain people, the IS-3A, with the turret being lower to the chassis. Now there is a not insignificant gap between the hull and the turret. And then the shot trap mechanics were significantly improved. And even I now have sometimes the luck, sometimes, still very rare, to hit the part where it should shot trap and then the shell just doesn't disappear but actually does ricochet into the crew compartment. Now, one of the aspects that I just mentioned was that new tanks were added to the game, and I think that is one of the reasons for power creep, really. However, one of them, I think one of the biggest problems for the IS-3 is the IS-6. The IS-6 can do everything better than the IS-3 and has a lower battle rating and is just, a coincidence, a premium tank. I'm not judging here, I'm just stating facts. Now, the IS-3 has a low horsepower to ton ratio, it can't reverse as fast, it doesn't have the same top speed, it doesn't have the reload on the gun. Yes, it has the post-war shell, but that is compared to all the other benefits that the IS-6 features rather insignificant. And yeah, again, it's Abandoned Factory that really gives me the best match, and I really can't tell you why. Well, of course, for this tank you might say it's a flat map, you have just 3 degrees of gun depression, but that is not what I'm talking about as being the real problem for the IS-3. According to what I just said, it just, the tank is really bad, but the tank itself isn't bad. It's fairly maneuverable for a heavy tank. It goes around, it still, has decent armor. And when you are in a stock tank, or if you're a lower tiered or lower battle rating vehicle, the IS-3 is still a beast. But other tanks just, have better ammunition right now. I mean, the FV 4005, the Doom Cannon, it kills the IS-3. But not the IS-6 with every shot. Try it out for yourself if you don't believe me. I'm not saying that there is Russian bias or, pay to win or something like that. But the IS-6 is so much better than the IS-3. And still, it boggles my mind that it has a lower battle rating. But again, what would happen if the IS-3 would receive a down tier? Would it have the old glory, from the beginning that I talked in the at the start of the video. No. Even at lower battle ratings, you now face so many tanks that just can outperform you really easily. It's awful. And I think this is the reason why you didn't see a tank review for such a long time. Because the IS-3 really is another cutter between your performance degree. So, if you are an upgraded tank with Heat FS, then the IS-3 obviously isn't a problem to kill. It will probably still kill you because the gun is still a magnificent 122mm, and I'm saying this because it delivers results. You shoot somebody, you pen somebody, and he's dead. I think the only tank that reliably can survive a shot is the mouse. And even the IS-6 can deal with the mouse, despite just having the BR-471B shell with 270mm. But because the front of the mouse has the bad steel quality modifier, aka, no, it's not rolled homogeneous armor, but cast armor, you have a reduction of more than, or at least 10%, so, the mouse still has a lot of difficulties dealing with you in return if he doesn't properly aim or if you angle. Now, again, the angling in the IS-3 with the pike nose design is highly controversial. But, just a little compilation of tips here. First of all, if you use your 3 degrees of gun depression, you can hide a substantial amount of your driver's hedge, which is the weak spot. And if you face a tank that has not APDS or heat at its disposal, so a lot of the old school German tank designs, then you have a pretty decent chance if you angle your armor, because then even the front can't be penetrated by the long 88. Now you also don't face your old enemies. I have not seen one King Tiger H variant with the long 88. And as well, I don't see the soft targets anymore. I don't see the patterns anymore, or so often, and that is just that was the food of the IS-3 in the beginning. And I think the IS-3 is one of those tanks that was so special, that was so dominant, because it was so easy. It was practically unkillable. It was just too good performing, and the reload problem and the gun depression problem, all they didn't matter. It was not decisive. But now it is, especially when you look at the tech tree. I'm talking about times before the T-44-100 or Object 906, and even before the T-54 49, even before that. So the IS-3's glory days are long gone. Different game mechanics, the meta of the game, so many things changed. The IS-3 is the old remnants of Russian glory in this game, and it is one of the reminiscence parts that can't hold itself reliably these days. So I hope I could give you the key aspect of the IS-3 being a problem or a problematic tank. It's not a bad tank by all means in stretch of the imagination. The problem is that so many other tanks around it are just so much better these days, especially the IS-6, especially being so similar to it. Anyways, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope I see your comment in the comment section. Let's discuss this topic a little bit, because I'm very interested in your opinion. And yeah, give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the battlefields. of War Thunder.